Hi friends, Michelle here from Halfway Homestead, and today we are making mixes. So I am going to start with my homemade pancake mix, and I keep it in a cereal Tupperware container, and I have my recipe written on one side. Then on the other side, I have a label here for pancake mix. On the other side, I have the instructions and additional ingredients that you need to make up your batch of pancakes. I also use this for waffles, and I use it for miniature muffins. So let's get this mixed up. I'm going to bring the camera down so you can see what I'm mixing. There we, whoops, it's going too far. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to start with three cups of flour here in my bowl. Oh, I need to get a measuring cup. All right, 3 cups of flour. Level that off. You don't want to pack your flour, and you don't want to shake your flour, because that takes all the little air pockets out and you won't get an accurate measurement. All right, 3 cups of flour. I need 2 tablespoons of baking powder. Okay, and this one I want to again level it off. So there's 1, 2, knock all the extra off of there. I need a 1/3 cup of sugar. My sugar is so chunky, and it came from the store like that, kind of frustrating. Okay, and then a teaspoon of salt. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my whisk and mix this up. I've even layered this in jars with some chocolate chips on top and given as a gift. That was fun. Okay, so mix it up. I'm going to put it into my cereal container. And I could do, probably triple this to fill the container, but there you go. It's all finished. Now to make the pancakes, I use 1.5 cups of mix, a teaspoon of vanilla, and 2 tablespoons of melted butter, and enough water to get it to the pancake consistency, or not as much water if I want to make waffles. And that one is finished, simple as that. All right, let's move on to the Jiffy mix. So we're gonna, the little Jiffy cornbread mix in the little blue box. Blue and white box. That's what I like to use, but I make my own, and I store them in these little pizza sauce jars. And I have my instructions for baking on the side. I just wrote it with a Post-it, covered it with tape, and I don't wash these jars in between because I'm putting Jiffy mix right back into it. All right, I'm going to layer my mix. So I need 1 cup, and I have to hold my funnel on there just right because I don't have a funnel that fits down in these jars, and so I end up making a bit of a mess. Well, that can't be right. 1 cup plus. Okay, that can't be right because that is not all going to fit in there. 2 eggs. Oh, this is for like double the mix. Okay, start over. We're going to cut this in half. Okay, we're going to start with 1/2 cup of flour. Been a while since I've made this, so I forgot what I did last time. All right, 1/2 cup of flour plus a tablespoon, which we would want 1/2 tablespoon. Okay. All right, I'm gonna do that in each jar. Like I said, this time I'm doing 3 jars. Oh, I'm getting flour everywhere. You can always tell when I've been in the kitchen because there is flour on my shirt, flour on the floor, flour on the countertops. It's all over. Okay, now I'm going to add half a cup of yellow cornmeal. That wasn't quite a full half cup, so let me grab it a little bit more. I'm almost out of yellow cornmeal. I am out of yellow cornmeal. Okay. Get this in here. There is just a tiny bit left, so that tiny bit I'm just going to divide between the 3 jars. Okay, put that on my grocery list. Then I need 2 tablespoons of sugar in each jar. 1, 2, 2, 1. I don't want those chunks in there. 2. Okay. Now I need a half a teaspoon of salt. I don't need the funnel for this part. Okay, and just like that, my Jiffy mix is made. And see, it's layered in the jar. Isn't that pretty? And then to make it, like I said, I have the instructions here. My oven will be preheated at 400. I'm going to add 1 egg and 1/3 cup milk, mix it up, and bake it for 15 to 20 minutes. And those 3 mixes can go on the pantry shelf. Okay, very good. The next one I'm going to make, I've got flour everywhere, is my taco mix. And I'm going to use this same bowl that I used for the pancakes. I do alter this recipe a little bit because my husband and I, neither one like heat. And so I don't put as much heat in it. So I'm going to start with a tablespoon of salt. Let's see. Grab my ingredients over here. Oh, you know what? I forgot the baking powder in the Jiffy mix. Okay, we'll have to go back to do that. But they're not sealed and they are just sitting here, so we can easily add the baking powder back in. Okay, taco mix. All right, cumin. Okay, it does call for 2 tablespoons. So 1, 2. A tablespoon of onion powder, and my onion powder is chunky also. It's all right. A tablespoon of garlic powder. I think there's just so much humidity in my kitchen that everything is affected by that. And a teaspoon of dried oregano. Okay, teaspoon of oregano. And then 2 teaspoons of paprika. Okay, so here's one of the alterations. I'm only going to do 1 teaspoon of paprika. Paprika sometimes bothers my husband's stomach. And then it also calls for 1/4 of a cup of chili powder. I am not putting the chili powder in at all. And that is, again, it's because of his stomach and my stomach. Neither one of us can handle that. So I also need some black pepper. I forgot to get that out. Okay, black pepper, let's see, 2 teaspoons. I'm just going to do 1. Again, because of our sensitive stomachs. And then it calls for 1/4 of a teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes. I'm not doing those, okay? So I'm just gonna use my whisk, same whisk I already had out here for the pancake mix. I'm gonna break up those chunks a little bit that are in my garlic powder and onion powder, which once I mix it into like taco meat or chicken or pot roast or something like that, the chunks won't matter, they'll dissolve. Okay, I have a little jar that I keep my taco mix in. At the top it says taco mix. I'm gonna use my funnel and I'm gonna pour this in. See if I can do it without making too big of a mess. Now, my husband and I, we don't eat tacos very often, and so I only made a little bit. If you have a bigger family or you eat it more often, you could make it more often, or you could even, double or triple this batch and make much more. So whenever I use the taco mix, I put in 1 tablespoon of mix per pound of meat, and that gives it a light seasoning. If you want it to be heavier seasoned, then by all means add more. Add it to taste, whatever your family would like to do or to have. So I will pop in some pictures of each one of these being made into a dish. Okay, I'll show you a picture of waffles, I'll show you a picture of cornbread, and if I have a picture of tacos, I will show you that. I don't know if I have a picture of that, but you know what tacos look like. So thank you for hanging out with me for this quick little video of making mixes. One reason I like to do this is it eliminates all of those preservatives and ingredients that I can't even pronounce in my food. We have food sensitivities in our house, and so I am careful on most things. I mean, come on, I still like Oreos and Doritos and Coca-Cola. I mean, I am a sucker for those 3 things specifically, but when I'm cooking at home, I try to cook from scratch, and I try to use ingredients that I know what's in here. I just saw a cat go by the front, and that's not my cat. I don't know whose cat that is. Interesting. All right, so I just want to say thank you again, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.